Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to Abnormal Voyages. My name is David, and today we find ourselves in the city of Lodi, California. We are here at the flagship A&W restaurant. Just a stone's throw away from here is where A&W Root Beer made its debut to the world. They've got a whole museum set up inside, so we're going to get in there and grab ourselves a mug. Tag along.
We're going to a place that you've never heard of before. It's Abnormal Voyages. You're gonna learn something new. We're gonna open new doors. It's Abnormal Voyages.
Now, before we head into the location, I want to draw your attention back to these friendly faces here. This is the Burger family. It consists of Papa Burger, Mama Burger, Baby Burger, and Teen Burger. Papa, Mama, and Baby Burger all debuted in 1960, with Teen Burger coming around in 1963, and they used to be the mascots for the A&W chain. They're a little rarer to see now, and most locations only have one or two family members, so getting to see all the family here together is a very special treat. As the original and flagship location, it makes sense that this piece of history would find a place at this A&W. But now, we wave goodbye to the family as we head inside. So of course, the first thing I had to do when I got in was get a mug of root beer. This is made fresh in-house every day. It is draft style, so you can't just pick this up in the store. This is the real stuff, made with real sugar cane. It's going to be delicious, I'm sure. Absolutely incredible. Like, I know you've had root beer before, but you have not had real root beer until you've had a mug of this. But let's check out the other stuff they have here. It's incredible the preservation they've gone through here at this A&W. Many restaurants don't do too much at their original locations. You might be lucky to see a plaque on the wall or a little display case. But here, they have fully leaned into their history and have all of it on display for the public to enjoy. Anyone who happens to be a fan of A&W or just vintage memorabilia in general is really going to enjoy this place. Now, the story of A&W goes all the way back to June 21st of 1919, right here in Lodi, California. As I mentioned, the very first mug of root beer was sold just a block or two away from here at a homecoming parade for World War I veterans. Ever since that first glass was poured, it became a massive hit. As delicious as the root beer is, though, A&W has some other very interesting claims to fame. For example, if you've ever enjoyed a bacon cheeseburger, you have A&W to thank. They are credited as the inventors of that particular burger, and on top of that, A&W is considered the nation's first franchise restaurant. McDonald's may be the biggest one, but A&W started it first. Honestly, it's hard for many modern things to be older than A&W, as their beginning date of 1919 predates even sliced bread. For those keeping track, yes, that does mean A&W restaurants are over 100 years old. They actually recently celebrated with a year-long festivity in all of their restaurants. Now, as we look through some of these pieces of memorabilia and merchandise, you may recognize a very friendly and cute bear popping up. Well, this is the Great Root Beer, or as his friends call him, Rooty. Rooty became the mascot in the 1970s and kind of displaced the Burger family for a while. Then after a while, the Burger family kind of came back into fashion, but by 2011, they officially said, we're going with the bear, and Rooty stands today as the A&W mascot. But the burger family is still welcome to visit whenever they like. Leaning on the popularity of their famous root beer, A&W really set themselves apart from other fast food locations by being a place that you could walk in and order an actual glass, big frosted mug full of root beer. People loved it so much that it just made sense to allow people to buy some to take home. That way they could have that little souvenir of A&W wherever their life may take them. Now, something you may be asking yourself is, what exactly do A&W stand for? We see it all the time, but a lot of people don't know that it's actually named for the partners who founded A&W, Roy Allen and Frank Wright. Their last names together, Allen and Wright, are the basis for A&W. And while this is a very well-known brand here in America, they also have the distinction of being the first American quick-service restaurant to open in Malaysia and Singapore. In 1963, it was also the first American hamburger shop to open in Okinawa. Today, there are more than 370 A&Ws throughout Asia. And I think it's fair to say they very much enjoy it over there, because between Asia and the United States, guests at A&W restaurants consume more than 1.1 million gallons of root beer every single year. And even as their numbers grew, every single gallon of that root beer was made fresh right there in-house. For anyone curious, it takes about 45 minutes to make up any batch of root beer that they create. But speaking of root beer, back to the mugs that I was mentioning, they took that popularity and soon made a different mug for every single year. People loved taking them home, so this gave them a chance to actually start a collection of these mugs. They all had a unique design and usually had the year emblazoned right on it. So, whether you wanted to get a nice jug or a mug, this was a perfect opportunity to begin a collection. Sometimes you'd see Rooty the Bear on these glass pieces, or if they were celebrating a special anniversary such as the 90th or the 100th, that would be very prominent on there. And it just gave you something nice as a souvenir of one of your favorite places to eat. And it goes without saying that though it may take a little more work for them to wash the mugs out after customers use them in-house, it saves a lot of waste, and A&W is credited with keeping about 180 paper cups out of landfills for every one mug that they have at their locations. Pretty impressive. Something I found super interesting. You may be most familiar with A&W by seeing it on the shelves at your local grocery stores or even in gas stations where you can pick up a bottle to take with you. However, up until 1971, you couldn't get A&W root beer anywhere except here in the restaurant in a Frosty mug. The popularity just grew so much that they had to look into distribution so that people could get this root beer everywhere they shopped. I think it's safe to say it was a pretty big success. Another fun little fact about A&W that I just think is very amusing. They are leading the charge on trying to add the ampersand officially to the alphabet. If you look at their classic logo, you see the A&W for A&W, but they can't put it in their URLs or anywhere else that only accepts official alphabet letters. So, they have petitions going to someday maybe make the ampersand the official 27th letter of the alphabet. I'm not sure if that's ever going to happen, but hey, good luck to them. From delicious root beer and frosty mugs to amazing mascots, A&W truly have carved their own path not only into the restaurant world, but into pop culture and, dare I say, American history. This American classic is still thriving after 100 years, and I don't doubt that they have many, many centuries ahead of them. And there's no better way to end your visit than with a delicious root beer float. Well, that's all the time we have for today, adventurers. My name is David, and this has been Abnormal Voyages. Thanks for tagging along. We'll see you in the next one.